What's good, y'all? What's good, Real Talk Squad? This is Miles, and you're listening to Real Talk with Miles Johnson, where you know we always keep it real. Let's get straight into it, man. First things first, like, comment, subscribe. We got a jam-packed episode. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA. We're going to talk about that. Chennedy Carter, the little hip chick. We're going to talk about our Mavs and Celtics finals preview. And lastly, we got some Phillies frenzy for y'all. 76ers and a couple of moves they should or should not make this offseason. We're first going to talk about Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. And I'll keep it a buck. I always wondered what it would be to see Magic Johnson and Larry Bird back in the 80s. Because that was a crazy time. You got Magic, the black guy on the West Coast. You got Larry Bird, the white guy on the East Coast. I always wondered, during that time, how would it be? We're seeing it right here. I mean, this is just Magic and Bird. The conversations we're having would literally be what Magic and Bird would have if they had social media with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Everything is controversial. Everything is about black and white, race and all this stuff, all this race war thing. But guess what? A lot of this stuff is very similar because the NBA was started in 1946. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson got to the league in 1979. That's a 23-year difference. So what happens? The WNBA, they were started in 1996. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, they come in 2024. That is a 27-year difference. It's not the same, but it's damn near. It's very, very similar. And so we talk about this is Magic and Bird with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And I'm thinking about this one player that is coming up that has a lot of hype already that in a few years will take the league by storm. And Juju Watkins is going to be the next Jordan. Talk about Caitlin Clark. And she's amazing. Angel Reese, she's amazing. Juju Watkins, that is, you got Magic and Bird, you got Caitlin and Angel, but it was Jordan who came in 84, right? Came in 84 and was tearing up the league up. So if Juju can improve her shot selection, we're talking about her being the Jordan of the WNBA after, Caitlin and Angel have reinvigorated it and have brought it to heights that it's never been to. Now, we talk about what specifically happened with Caitlin Clark and Chennedy Carter. That was a Bush League play, and you can't have that anywhere. I mean, everybody said that. Everybody knows that. My biggest problem is that y'all try to single out one person and label that for the collective. Why? These are the same people that when it's like black on black crime in one instance, or they want to make it about, this is just black people hate each other. No, it's just one fool decided to, shoot a brother. Can that not be one instance? But it's like it's those same people that take one instance to try and prove their narrative or try to attach it to their narrative that women don't support women and that's why you shouldn't, watch the WNBA. But guess what? Ironically, all of this drama about the WNBA, all this drama with Chennedy Carter and Caitlin Clark, you want to know what this is going to bring? More eyes. People love drama. So when the Sky and the Fever play each other again, you don't think it's going to do more views than it did the first time they met? Because the first time they met, the only element was Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Now the next time they meet, it's Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, but also Chennedy Carter. Like, what are we talking about? So it's something that is what sports are about. Drama. It's not no big deal. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just drama. That's what you want this league to be. I'm so serious. Once you get people really hype and really, talking about this, like all these guys that's in the comments in Twitter, Instagram, taking time out of their day to argue about Angel Reese or argue about Caitlin Clark just proves the point that the WNBA is going places people never thought it would have got in such a short amount of time. People forget that the league just was founded in 1996. Look, I'm 23. I wasn't born yet. But shoot, I know some of y'all that's watching this right now, y'all was born already. Or you might have been like, you feel me? You might have just, you feel me? It wasn't that long ago is what I'm trying to say. That's all it is. And I will say to the casual fans, I'm a casual fan. And I'm proud of it. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they brought me back to start watching. Well, I won't say that. I'll say I'm a casual fan. And Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they brought me to the WNBA. And I'm not ashamed about it at all. But what I won't do is disrespect the greats that came before them and that are currently playing and be like, well, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they brought me here. I don't care about y'all, I don't care about any of y'all that laid the groundwork, the foundation for them to be who they are today, to grow this league to levels it has never seen. That's the problem that a lot of WNBA fans that been watching this have with the newcomers. Most of them aren't upset about the newcomers that love Caitlin Clark. But you can't love Caitlin Clark at the expense of hating on past WNBA players that are retired, that built the foundation, or current WNBA players that laid the groundwork and laid the foundation. So that's all that is. I get mad when people try to say, oh, it's one white girl, and now y'all want to be on her top. Like, nah, don't do that. But I do see how if you're ignorant and you aren't educated, it doesn't take that much. Just educate yourself. Just educate yourself. Because it's like this. Wouldn't you be mad if you are an NBA fan and somebody who came just because of Victor Wembanyama in 2023 and was like, yeah, Wemby, he's that guy. I don't care about LeBron. I don't care about Jordan. I don't care about Shaq. I don't care about Kobe. I don't care about Luka, who's playing right now. I don't care about Tatum, Ja. Who cares about Ja? Curry. Who cares about those guys? KD. That would be incredibly disrespectful. So when you praise Caitlin Clark, but then try to disrespect the people before her and disrespect the current players now that have built this league up, that's when you go wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a Caitlin Clark fan. I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. I literally went to West Des Moines, Iowa, went to her high school, interviewed her former high school coach, her principal, her athletic director, and they spoke highly of her character. That's my girl. But I'm not finna be like, I don't care that Candace Parker scored 34 points in her rookie debut. Like, no. You feel me? Like, just respect the game. Respect the game. But ultimately, this period where it's a race war and it's all these controversial topics, it will pass. It will pass eventually. But this is the same way it was when Magic and Bird came in the league, especially in the 80s. You got to think, if it was bad now, best believe in the 80s, if they had social media, oh my God, it would have been World War III. World War III. Let's talk about the NBA Finals. Mavs versus Celtics. I got Mavs in 5. I ain't stutter. Mavs in 5. Who has the best player? Luka Doncic. Who has the best coach? Jason Kidd. Let's go down the list of past NBA champions, and this will further prove my point that if you have the best coach and you have the best player, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win the championship. But let's first start off with the best player because that's the most important part. Jokic, the MVP. He went ahead, won it. Curry, Giannis, LeBron, Kawhi, KD, LeBron again, Dirk, Kobe, Duncan. All these guys are all-time greats. I believe one day Luka Doncic will be, at the very least, a top 15 player of all time. I don't believe Tatum will sniff top 15 of all time. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I think right now he's the 6th or 7th, 8th best player in the NBA. Tatum is just Paul George. Jason Tatum is Paul George with just an A-plus roster and in the Eastern Conference without LeBron James. Don't you think an Indiana Pacers Paul George with this roster would do the same exact thing without LeBron in the East? Yeah. But is Paul George on the is Paul George a number 1? Nah. He's number 2. I believe that's Tatum. That's what I believe. The only way the Celtics win is if Tatum plays one like an all-time great player, because we have seen the past champions, all of them have been from Jokic, from Curry, from Kawhi, LeBron, KD, Kobe, Duncan, whoever you want to call it, Dirk. They're all-time greats, and they played like all-time greats in the finals to win it for their ball clubs. I don't think Tatum's in that stratosphere. That's my first reason. The best player. Another reason, the duo. You have Tatum and Brown, and you got Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. You taking Kyrie and Luka, or are you taking Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? I will say it again for you guys. Are you taking Luka and Kyrie or Tatum and Brown? I'm taking Luka and Kyrie every single time. Every single time. Luka is better than Tatum. Kyrie is better than Jaylen Brown. Oh, how could you say that Jaylen Brown's better than Kyrie? I don't know. Because Kyrie has done it? Oh, I don't know. Because Kyrie has been proven to be one of the best wingmans of all time. So I'm going to go with their track record of being clutch performers. I'm going to go with Kyrie's track record of literally hitting the greatest shot in NBA history. And no disrespect to Jaylen Brown, but it's like it's levels to this. It is. Kyrie Irving in the finals? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Literally, if Kyrie Irving did not get injured in 2015, and if he didn't face KD and that overpowered Warrior squad, I don't know if Kyrie Irving loses a finals. Loses one. This is the same guy that dropped 41 in Game 5 with LeBron James, matched him, and then was the go-to guy in the clutch in Game 7. So I'm sorry, that's the guy who I trust more as my number 2 option. All right, cool. After those two guys, I will say that the Celtics have the better starting 5 because you got, Derek White, Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. That's the next 3 best players. Now we're at like 6 players right now, right? Or what would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll be 7 players right now out of the top 10. That next, I say PJ Washington, Derek Lively, Al Horford. The Celtics have a great starting 5, but outside their starting 5, their bench ain't nothing. Am I scared of Samuel Hauser? Am I scared of Pritchard? Am I scared of Horford? Like, hey, it might be some of my Sixers bias, but I ain't scared of no Horford, bro. So I'm not saying like the Celtics, like, each game are going to get blown out. I don't think the Celtics get blown out. What I'm saying is it'll be close games, but I trust I trust them. Oh, wow. I trust the Mavs in close games, and I think a lot of these games will end up just like the Minnesota series, where it could have gone either way, but the Mavs just had the best closers, and I said closers, in the game of basketball, and that prevailed in the end. So that's what I look to. That's what I predict, and that's who I'm siding with. I've always stayed consistent. What did I say? Whoever in the West is spanking the Celtics. And seeing what the Mavs did to the Timberwolves, seeing the way that they were able to get whatever they wanted against the number one defense in the league, makes me really, really confident that Kyrie and Luka will do the exact same thing on the biggest stage. Because why? They're built like that. Now look, if Jason Tatum and these guys win without injuries, if these guys win, I will go out here. I will apologize. I will apologize. I've already told Paris and Kobe, if you watch Legends Live Forever, please watch that. We have intense debates. Paris is a hell of a coach. He's also a hell of a Celtics fan. You know, Kobe is a hell of a Lakers fan, but for some reason he is supporting the Celtics. But tune in for that, because it's going to get very, very real. Very, very real. But that's all I got, man. Mavs in 5. And my last point is, let's not understate what Jason Kidd has done and how he has improved in being a coach, especially in coaching superstars, since his days in Milwaukee. Jason Kidd needs his respect, and don't try to, understate the way that Luka plays as a point guard, the way that Kyrie Irving has, been more of a passing point guard at times, and I attribute that to Jason Kidd. Come on. Last point, last topic of this episode, we're going to talk about the 76ers, Joel Embiid, and this Paris Olympics, and some offseason moves. First, Paris Olympics. I'm happy that Joel Embiid is playing in the Paris Olympics, because for once, he'll be around some champions. A bunch of champions. LeBron, KD, Steph. Anthony Davis. He'll have a bunch of champions that have been there and done that. And if I was Embiid, I would literally bring a notebook with me. I'm so serious. I'm dead ass. I would bring a notebook with me, and I would literally be trying to jot down notes of what these guys are saying and just observe how they lead their franchise. Because Joel Embiid, you're now 30 plus years old, and you haven't gone to a conference finals. And let's keep it a bean, your body isn't the age that you are. It's probably a little bit older than you are. The clock is ticking. The Sixers are in win now mode. And it is embarrassing that Tyrese Halliburton and Trae Young have been to more conference finals than you. It's embarrassing that Jimmy Butler has been to 2 times more conference finals than you. So how about you get your notebook down, get your journalist hat on, and go ahead and learn from the greats and apply that to next season. In the offseason, I'm hearing talks about Paul George or LeBron James. What are we talking about? LeBron James. If we had to choose between acquiring LeBron freaking James or Paul George, no disrespect to Paul George, but what's the debate? What is the debate? We have the opportunity to get the greatest player of all time, number 2 at worst on your team, when he's still a top 10 player in the league, when he's still better than Paul George right now, when he's still an all NBA player right now? What are we talking about? A guy who actually won a championship? I don't get what this hype is about bringing Paul George to Philadelphia. Why? If you're going to bring Paul George to Philadelphia on a max contract, you should have just paid James Harden what he wanted. Because it's going to be the same result. Both guys are 34. Both guys have had their struggles in the playoffs. Both guys, especially as they aged on, have had some injuries. Both guys aren't necessarily the leaders of a locker room. But you want to bring Paul George in. What is Paul George going to do? What is Paul George going to do? And if he have a couple bad games and Philly gets a little bit rowdy, do I expect Paul George to wade that storm of the Philadelphia fans? I don't think so. I don't think it takes only a couple of dogs for Philly to, one, not mess with, and for two, to not get phased when Philly fans do what they do. Because, let's keep it a stack, Philly fans wouldn't dare boo Jimmy Butler because they know he's a dog. Philly fans haven't booed Bryce Harper. I don't think they booed Jalen Hurts. They booed the team, but Hurts himself. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're a dog and the city knows that you're a dog, they don't mess with you, bro. They only boo the guys that they question if they got hurt for real. That's why they question Embiid. That's why they was questioning Ben Simmons. That's why they was questioning Carson Wentz. These guys that you don't know if they really got that dog in them. That's consistent, bro. That's consistent. Maybe I'm wrong. I want y'all to correct me in the comments if maybe I'm leaving somebody out who is a dog that the Philly fans have, went ahead and booed. But I can't think of a certified dog that the Philly fans have really booed harshly and ridiculed, bro. Let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on everything I talked about, from Caitlin Clark to the NBA Finals and to the Philadelphia 76ers. I love y'all. Peace.